Hello everybody, this is Amber Johnson with Helping the Good People. How you doing today? If you like the content that you hear in this video, I ask now that you like, subscribe, and share to my channel, and let others hear also what I have to say, as it might be important to someone else today. So if you will, please share this so others can hear it too. My topic today is based on a personal issue that I have been dealing with, and that is revolving around domestic violence and dealing with narcissism, multiple personality disorders, and the instability of a person's well-being and how it affects families, relationships, jobs, friends, far and wide. Let's just say there's no limit to how far domestic violence reaches a person until you're deep in it. So deep that you don't know how you got there in the first place. That's how I feel. Start questioning your motives. You start questioning the what ifs, the whys. Like me, I got reminded of my accountability in my own situation. And like most of us, at first we don't want to accept it. No, we're not accountable. We want to blame, right? Blame each other. Well, I can tell you now, my lesson has taught me you don't blame anybody but yourself. Accountability comes with the acceptance that you're allowing it to happen. You put yourself in the position to be abused, and even though you see the red flags, you choose to stay. That was my hard truth when I went to DV class, 52 hours of it. Long story on that one. However, it did teach me quite a bit about myself and accountability. What do you do when domestic violence is at the forefront in your life and you don't know how to handle it? For me, I listen to music. I paint. I write stories. I write poetry. I go for long walks at the park. I call a friend. I even have some cooking off depression videos on here. That's what I do. But sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes we want to scream. We want to hurt someone because we feel hurt. For me, I can't do that. I don't have a hurtful bone in my body as far as physical harm to anybody. But I can tell you what, I can be verbal. And that is my lesson and my karma to deal with. These days has been tough. A lot of domestic violence around me. People either in abusive situations or I'm dealing with abusers. And as myself, I was a victim for a long time, and then I became the abuser. So I definitely know what that's like. But why is it happening so much? You can't blame it just on COVID. You can't blame it on Mercury retrograde. That only leaves looking at yourself. I like to tell people the next time you want to talk about someone, go stand in front of that mirror and look yourself in the eyes and say it to yourself first. Did it make you smile? Did it make you angry? How do you feel? If you still proceed forward, it just causes chaos. It causes drama. So, this message is for those who are not yet awake. Stop what you're doing. Go look in the mirror right now. Take a deep breath. Get your eyes right up next to the mirror and say, I love you. Yeah, that's what I said. Tell yourself, I love you. That's what I do. I know I'm a good person. I know I don't mean to hurt anybody. My intentions are usually fairly on point. But why does domestic violence continue to play a role in my life? Those are questions that you have to ask yourself too. If you're in a bad situation, you're in a bad relationship, at a bad job, you're being bullied, whatever the case may be, ask yourself, why am I still here? What is it that I need to work on so this doesn't happen again? Well, first, accepting that you have a problem. Second is to tell someone about it. Maybe even find a stranger at a bus stop. Sit down and talk to them. And thirdly, is to forgive yourself. And then finally, forgiving the one that hurt you. Even if you can't tell them to their face, you have to write them a letter. You have to burn it, whatever you have to do to get it out. For me, I want to scream. Instead, I'm writing and I want to sing. Don't let anyone abuse you. Don't lower your standards, and keep your boundaries firm. I learned the hard way last night, dealing with a friend of mine for 4 years, who decided to get verbally abusive with me last night, in my face. Asked him kindly to back off, he wouldn't. Next thing you know it, I realized why the abuse was occurring. And I stopped myself and removed myself from that situation. I gathered my support group and went about my night. Got escorted outside to my car last night. Pretty sad, if you ask me. Anyhow, this video is for anyone out there listening. Still, thank you for listening and watching. And I really pray that if you're going through a hard time right now, or you're dealing with domestic violence, abuse of any kind, it's not just physical. The worst kind is the verbal, emotional, and mental abuse. That is the most dangerous kind because it plays on the mind. Don't allow anyone to ever play with your mind. Don't allow them that power. Take back your power. Stand up for yourself and for someone else in this situation. Do your best to help them. And always do it with unconditional love. Without unconditional love, there is no love at all. There's no compassion, no empathy, no kindness. So remind yourself of that. When you choose to deal with a narcissist, an abuser, whomever it is, a boss, an unruly child, it doesn't matter. Always ask yourself first, who's the bigger person? Are you going to allow them to take your power, or are you going to keep your power? Choose wisely, because you never know the chain, the domino effect that one word, one sentence, one message, and all the damage that you can do to a whole topple effect of people in your life. I like to give it 20-year cycles. Well, my 20 years has come. Where were you 20 years ago? What were you doing? Were you a good person? Did you do right by others? Because if you did, it's Judgment Day now. Everything you've done over the last 20 years is coming back to the forefront. And I can guarantee it is happening with a lot of you. I'm not the only one. I'm just here voicing it. Speaking up about it. Because someone's got to talk about it. Remember the domino effect. I know I was a good person over the last 20 years. I know that everything I've done has been for the greatest and highest good of all involved. Yeah, I've hit some bumps in the roads, but I got myself back up. I dusted myself off and kept going. Why? Because I have 3 beautiful kids that I fight for. Now I got to go to court at 1:30, and it is 1:12 right now. I got to go to court against my abuser on a protection order that I got on him, and he wants to contest it. And we're 10 years later. 10 years later, and I'm still standing strong. Don't give up. Never give up. I love you and I appreciate you.